The views and opinions expressed on this program are not necessarily those of this station, JVC Broadcasting Management, or its sponsors.
This is Denise Nostrom, CEO and founder of Diversified Financial Solutions. Now more than ever, investment advice is needed. Not just where best to invest your money, but why. Are you investing for your future retirement? Are you retired and looking to maximize your income? Are you maximizing your income and concerned with leaving money for your loved ones? Are you investing for your retirement at the same time saving for your children's education and at the same time saving to buy another home? Are the markets in line with your goals? Are your goals ever changing? Please contact me at 631-758-8691. That's 631-758-8691, or visit us at diversifiedfinancial.biz. For over 25 years, I have been helping individuals, families, and business owners navigate through all market conditions with only one goal in mind, my clients. Visit me at diversifiedfinancial.biz or call Denise Nostrom, founder of Diversified Financial Solutions, at 631-758-8691. That's 631-758-8691 for a conversation about my most important client, you. Hello, it is so good to be here on this beautiful Friday afternoon. Thank you for tuning into the Financial Chick Show. I'm your host, Denise Nostrom, the CEO and owner of Diversified Financial Solutions. Your Financial Chick is here to help you make better financial decisions and choices to help you improve your life and reduce your anxiety and stress about money. If you want to learn more about me or my firm, check out my website at financialchickshow.com. We're also on Facebook at Diversified Financial Solutions, so like our pages to get updates and see what is happening. So I am so excited today to be in the studio with a guest. She's a special guest. She is smart, dynamic, and a very successful young businesswoman. I was introduced to her through our mutual friend, Alicia Bender. Her company is Simple Sweet Sites. I want to introduce you all to Sarah LaValle.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for having me.
You are so welcome. I know we had a little bit of a craziness before the show started,
Yes,
but
we did.
Listen, strong women can do this. Nothing will jazz us, and we get through the muck and mire.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. If not, we have to be adaptable, right?
Exactly.
Yep.
And we certainly are, you know. So I'm so delighted that you're here.
Yeah.
So tell my audience a little bit about yourself and your company and what you do.
Yeah. So I'm Sarah. I am the owner of Simple Sweet Sites website design. I have been in business since 2019. And I focus on getting small businesses up online beautifully and getting their leads to convert and making sure that they just have a really great web presence that they're proud of.
That's awesome. I mean, you figure today, you know, everybody, let's say you have a conversation with somebody and like, oh, that's what you do. What's the first thing people do? They run and look at a person's website.
Yes.
Like it's almost, the business card really is just a gateway to the website because that's where the meat and potatoes are. So how do you help people, I guess when you start with a client, how do you approach that? Like, what do you ask them or how do you get them to look at their vision, I guess?
Yeah. So I actually have a really unique approach when I'm working with somebody because I'd like to get to know them because there's always a human behind the business. So Absolutely. All of our industries are pretty, jam-packed with other competitors, but each of us are unique. Mm-hmm. And each of us really just have something special to bring to the table. And I like to extract what's special about that person and why they even chose to do what they do and why they offer what they offer. Because what's really great about that part of the process is when you get to know the person, on my side, I get to design the website so that you're attracting the proper customer. Mm-hmm. So exactly. That is the kind of questions that I ask to really get to know the depths of them.
I love that. Mm-hmm. And you know, it's good because really when we work with somebody, we're working with the person. So whatever widget or whatever they're offering, a product or service, you know, if the person's not really nice to work with or doesn't have a commonality, you kind of probably won't have as good a relationship. So I like that fact that you bring out the person.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because you really want to be able to get to know who you're going to work with just by looking at them online, right? So I find a way to get their soul on the page, which is kind of interesting to say, but it's a unique approach, and it's I like to provide an experience on the website. So it's kind of, I'm artistic, but also technical. So it's a really cool line that I walk.
I love that. And well, you know, I know you have a huge portfolio of clients. If you go to your website is
simplesweetsites.com.
So you can go there and see. I mean, your website is beautiful, of course it would be.
I hope so.
I know, right? But you have a huge portfolio of clients, and I can say one of which is my nonprofit that you're also part of. Actually, you are our web designer, so you have. We're blessed to have you as our website designer and manager. So you're keeping it always, vibrant and active, and with all the information that people need to see.
Yeah, because websites so commonly are out of date, right? So even if you're on a community page or a business page, of course, as well, where the information is just outdated or the contact information is wrong, or, all of these things are so important if you're going to be a lucrative business, or even just if you're trying to build a nonprofit and you want to put accurate information out there so people show up to the events. Very important.
It's just, I know you're probably the same way. When I go to a website and I see things are outdated, I turn away, because I'm just like, if they don't care about the dates or information that's, from 2014, it's like, how can I really feel confident with this company and that they're going to do the right job, but that's where you come in, because, businesses are very busy, and a lot of businesses or individuals think we could do everything. I could be a web designer. I can sell my product. I could, you can. So I think it's important for you, a person like you to kind of take that, and business owners that are out there, or even, people that are doing side hustles or whatever the case may be, get that presence and have somebody take that off your plate. We all need stuff off our plate.
Oh my goodness. And the exact example I give is, do you do your own accounting when you have a business? Probably not. You hire somebody. And so any of us are capable of doing anything and everything, but do you want to, and do you have the time? Because if you're going to sit here and learn how to be a web designer, I'm not saying anyone can't do it, but your business is going to suffer, because now you're taking hours when sometimes paying somebody costs less than the hours that you're spending, and your hours are worth to do it yourself. So delegating is so important in business in general.
It's so true. But people, and it sounds so commonplace, and people that don't do it will tell you that too, right? Yeah. But they don't do it for themselves. So I think that's really something that needs to be told to people, especially businesses that are struggling. And sometimes, you got to spend money to make money. Yep. Right. And I'm sure your websites do that. And how would that do that?
Yeah. So besides it looking beautiful, because we all as consumers ourselves judge a book by its cover. So you're kind of making your business credible by presenting it properly. But then also important, as a component when you're building the site, is the navigation needs to be easy. So there's a lot of technical things on the other side of art that need to be considered when it's being built. And I like to approach the design as if I'm the user. And like, what if I approach this website, would I be confused? Would I understand exactly what I'm looking at first glance? Because we're looking and consuming content at such a fast rate, which I blame social media for that.
Oh, amen.
Yeah. Sure. And so when we want to be able to land on a site and within 2 seconds consume exactly what we're looking at. And if we can't find what we're looking for, we're out of there. And so that's the approach that I take when I'm designing. And then the next step, now you have to have really clear call to actions. It's a CTA in marketing, where you, as the person designing it, and you're working with the business owner of like, okay, what's your goal? What next step do you want them to take? And now the website needs to guide the user. Do you want them to purchase a product? Do you want them to call you? Do you want them to fill out a form? So on my end, I'm consulting with my client saying, hey, like, what do you want them to do next? And then I make sure that the website guides the user there.
Right. And that is super important too, because sometimes you go on a website and you're just totally confused. Like, I don't even know what I'm looking for. Like, I thought I was coming here for a purpose. And then I went to the site and I can't navigate it properly. Gosh, I wish you could, and sometimes it's sad. It's these really huge companies too. And their websites are awful. And you just get disgusted that you're like, I can't get what I need to get. And this is the only venue, because now nobody wants to talk to you on the phone. So like, you have to go to websites and you have to get information. Everything is like self-help kind of thing, looking for data, so that's good. So I think that's important, and that's something you can help people to do. So why don't you give people if they want to reach out to you, if they need a website, your information on how to contact you?
Of course. I offer 15-minute free consultations. So I actually have booking for that right on my website. It's simplesweetsites.com. There's a contact tab, or you could do simplesweetsites.com/call. We'll bring you right there. I'll give you my number directly, 631-379-4319. Those are the two best ways to get in touch with me.
Excellent. Yeah. So again, everybody needs a website, regardless of how big or small your company is. That is your, the old school business card. But it's a business card on steroids, because now it's giving you so much information, and you can really go down into the weeds and see a lot of information and get to know whether it's, you're looking for a product or a service, or like you said, a nonprofit. What do they really do, and how do they work, and what's happening? So, so that's really good.
Thank you.
Well, we're getting close to the break, but we have so much more to talk about. I mean, I really want to get deeper into, can people find out, like, who's coming to their websites, or can they really track as to how they can get leads, off the website? So I'm sure there's ways we could do that, or we can explore that on the second half. So you are listening to The Financial Chick Show. This is Denise Nostrom. My company is Diversified Financial Solutions. I help you look for financial solutions when you feel like there are none. Feel free to contact me at 631-758-8691 or at my website at financialchickshow.com. So today I have a special guest, Sarah LaValle from Simple Sweet Sites, and we are talking all about websites and why you should have one and how you can navigate them as well. So stay tuned. Welcome back. This is Denise Nostrom, the Financial Chick. My company is in Medford, and you can reach me at 631-758-8691 or visit my website at financialchickshow.com. I'm here to help you on your financial journey. Over the years, things change, and I'm here to help you navigate all those changes. So today, I have a special guest in the office. I was going to say it's been a long week, and I've been in the office like constantly. But I'm in the studio now, and in the studio with me is Sarah LaValle, and she's with Simple Sweet Sites, and she is a dynamic young woman business owner that has grown a business from scratch. And I'm so proud of you. I think you're amazing, and you have a tremendous following. You have a lot of clients that you're doing websites, including my nonprofit. I would say our nonprofit, Power of Women Exchanging Resources. So I'm so delighted to have you here today.
Yes, thank you.
And we're talking websites. So before the half, we talked about why it's so important to have a website, whether you're a nonprofit or whether you're a small business or even mid-sized business. That is where people get to know you and the personalization and stuff like that. So, but a lot of people want websites to work for them, not just have them as like a place to go. Like you were talking a little before, a call to actions. But what are the things, we'll talk a little more about call to action. So like, what are some things that people should do? Maybe they don't have, because I find that a lot of people, don't ask for the sale. What's calls of actions that people should have on the website? So it's not just a thing that you go to with data. What do you want? What should people ask for?
Yeah, it does depend on the business and their operations, because if you're somebody that isn't going to be able to answer their phone during the day, you don't want to push people to call you. True. Because now you're not picking up the phone. So then usually for them, I would say, okay, well, let's have a contact form so that they feel nurtured and you're able to get back to them at your own convenience, but it still looks professional. And then we won't even sometimes put the phone number on the site for that reason. And then what we're able to do is, as you just said, have the website work for you. We can set up automation so that, say, if someone fills out a form, an email gets triggered that we can word to sound personal, because I know people sometimes feel a type of way about that. They're like, well, I want to talk to them personally. We can word it so it still feels personal.
That's
At
great.
least they're getting a response, and then you can also set up that first trigger email, and then maybe 2 days later, a follow-up email goes out. So I like to talk to each business owner and see exactly what they need to happen, and that we curate the automations to support that.
And that's really good. And like I said, people are so deep into their business that sometimes they probably don't know the answer to that question. I don't know what I want, right? So you can help them to say, well, what are you looking to do? Maybe getting more leads. So if you're getting more leads, how would you go about doing that? And I guess we'll start. Well, I have a couple questions, right? And then how do you know, like, people that come to the site? Like, how do they know that, the people that they want to come to the site are coming to the site?
Yeah, there's definitely like marketing tools and analytics that can be plugged in. So we could lean into those tools for actual data and things like that, and for traffic. But even with the forms on the back end, it's tracking, and leaving a record of who's contacting you, which is really great. There's ways to do that with the phone too, again, with marketing tools, which we won't get into today, but there's always ways to find out and follow up. So who's coming, and then making sure that there is a way to get in touch with them afterwards.
Right. Yeah. So that's a very important thing, because we're all looking to grow our businesses. Well, most of us, maybe not everybody, but looking to grow their business, but getting qualified people too. You don't want to, time is money, right? Yeah. So you want to make sure that you have the right people, that you're sitting with people that maybe would not be interested in your product or service.
Yeah. And having your business portrayed properly and showcased properly, is important, because you want to make sure that your product or service is clearly being presented, just so people aren't calling you confused or thinking you do something else. So that even goes back to how we're showcasing the information that needs to be on there. So strategy is actually a part of what I do, and it's a service that I'm adding because it is so important. Over these past 6 years, I've evolved so much to really hone in exactly how to extract the information from these business owners, just so I could find out what exactly needs to be done, because how the information's laid out, I can do 5 different, like therapist websites, but how I lay out their information and what information is going to be very different, because they're all different individuals. And then how the website needs to work for them is going to be very different. So in my strategy sessions that I have with people, I really like to get that information clear with them about, okay, well, what do you need? And then we kind of brainstorm together, and that's where I'm digging. And every session, you kind of go into it just like a trust fall. And you're like, I don't know where this is going to go, but we're going to find out at the end. And it's just a beautiful thing that is uncovered of like, okay, this is what we're going to do next. So strategy is very, very important. And then there's implementation of course, building out the site, making the site reflect these things that need to be done, as well as what can we automate, because your time is so important. And I also have a CRM platform. I don't even know if I told you that.
Yeah, I don't think you did. No.
Yeah. So that's something that you really should be tying in your website to some sort of CRM platform. Mine is called Interflow CRM. Where it's hosted with me and 2 other women locally. We have businesses here. We all come together. I did see a little bit
about that. Yeah. So that's exciting. Great. Yeah. Tell me more about that.
Yeah. So whoever wants to dig in deeper, and if they don't have a CRM, you really should be having all of your leads and your business really running somewhere on the back end, just so you can track what's going on, whether it's target marketing, but you should be sending email marketing on the back end. Are you tracking, have someone to organize your projects? Are you sending virtual invoices? Like, there's so many ways to make your life easier. So it's a little bit of upfront work, but it's so worth it, because then it's kind of just like you hit the ground running and just let it work for you. And so you're not having to have another employee to do all of this stuff. It's kind of like having a virtual assistant.
Right.
It's really cool.
That's awesome. Yeah. So I'm sure people, that's the biggest thing. Of course, none of us have time, but I find that, especially in my industry, we have so many more things that we have to do now, that an 8-hour day doesn't look like an 8-hour day it did 5 years ago. Like, it's about 4 now, and it's like, it's crazy. And it seems like there's more and more things that we have to do. And not to mention, we know we have to have security. Obviously, that's probably part of like the website design too, and stuff, security and breaching and all that kind of stuff. But you have to get these codes, and just to get into a website now sometimes can take like 5-10 minutes. Like, it used to be a minute.
Yeah, definitely.
So anything you can automate, like what you're talking about, is like invaluable for any business owner, because that's the biggest thing, the time factor.
And everything's being digitized now, and so what's important and why we started Interflow CRM is because how many platforms are you signed up for right now?
Too many.
Yeah. And this consolidates it. It's actually like a marketing tool, a CRM tool, a project management tool, all in one. You can have landing pages on there, which is another conversation of different, like, focus websites, basically. So you have like your main website, and then if you have a specific promotion that you want to get out there, you would make a landing page for that. So unlimited of those. Yeah. So there's so many benefits, and now you have one subscription instead of having 10, 20 different ones.
Oh, that is like music to many people's ears, because in every industry, I find, especially in mine, we have so many different, not one, if we could find one platform that could do everything, that would be amazing. Cause that's a time saver too. Like, oh man, all right, I got to go into this one now. Let me go into this one. Then I got to go into the other. So wow, that's pretty cool.
Toggling.
Yeah, we're going to have to do a freaking show just right on that.
Yeah, no, it's so, and honestly, we started it by being like users of it. And then we're like, oh my gosh, we need to share this. This is just amazing. So it's not even just like, oh, we're selling this thing. It actually works, because it's a big claim to say you're getting rid of 90% of your subscriptions, but with this you are. So I'm very proud of it.
That's awesome.
And it's all tying together with the websites, because it's kind of like the next step. If you want to really beef up your operations and, up your marketing game and your follow-up game and start closing more leads, that's what does need to happen next, no matter what program you're using.
And that's a problem too, because a lot of people don't do the follow-up. Like they have this great thing, I'm going to do this plan, I'm going to do this marketing, and then it just goes for naught because, all the leads go and time. With that too, you got to get back to people quickly, or else they're on to the next adventure.
Definitely. Yeah, you're paying for ads, and then you're gathering. Say if you get 100 phone numbers, but what are you doing with those? You get 1,000 emails. What are you doing with those? So the next step is very important and should be considered. So your money is just not going to waste.
And it's overwhelming because how many emails do you get? And I've lost total control. But that's another story. That for another day.
Yes.
But anyway, so I guess I would say, well, a couple of things I wanted to say was I love making website design simple again. Oh my God, I saw the tagline on your website. I friggin' love that. Thanks. And then to level up your web presence today. And I think that's so important because the competition's fierce and you want to set yourself apart, and having a brilliant website made by Simple Sweet Sites definitely will make that happen. So tell people how to reach you again.
Yes.
And I'm sure there's a lot of piqued interest. So give Sarah a call at
simplesweetsites.com. There is a 15-minute free consultation you can access on there. If you want, my direct number is 631-379-4319.
Awesome. Well, this was absolutely jam-packed with information, but utilize the free consultation and the personalization, because that's the most important thing, is meeting 101, because just the general stuff, but really looking at your business. I love that whole part. I just love the whole thing. I mean, you're amazing. I really think you're wonderful. So
you're the best.
So I'm glad you came on. And that's a wrap, man. We'll be back next Friday. We'll talk about markets that have been hitting all-time highs. We had a great week this week. Deals being made, rates coming down, things are happening. So have a great weekend, and I'll see you next Friday.
Advisory services offered through Blackridge Asset Management, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Securities are offered through Peak Brokerage Services, LLC, member FINRA, SIPC. Blackridge Asset Management and Diversified Financial Solutions are separate and independent entities from Peak Brokerage Services.
The views and opinions expressed on this program are not necessarily those of this station, JVC Broadcasting Management, or its sponsors.